Good morning to you. I'm Abby Tedros coming to you live on our WBTV News Now platform, wherever you are streaming us, with some breaking news. A continuation of the breaking news we brought to you on WBTV News this morning. This is in the area of NoDa. A Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer shot in the overnight hours, and that investigation continues this morning. Want to bring in our Sharon Hayes, who is live on East 36th Street. This is near the Blind Pig, where this investigation is underway currently. Sharon, I know that you just heard from Chief Johnny Jennings. What did he tell you about all of this?
Well, first, Chief Johnny Jennings did say that the officer who was shot in this morning's shooting is in stable condition, recovering in the hospital. So that's a little bit of light in this overall situation. Now, we were previously at the Johnston YMCA just down North Davison Street here. We've been able to move a little bit closer, but still not right where this investigation is focused, which, as you said, Abby, was right outside of the Blind Pig. But this is as far as we've been able to get. Like I said, we're at North Davison Street here. And so what Chief Johnny Jennings told me is that everything started around 2:30 this morning when they were actually called out about a disturbance at the Blind Pig. And so when officers got there to the bar, they said they didn't see anything really going on. So they started to leave. And then that's when a random person, someone started shooting in their direction. And Chief Johnny Jennings made it seem like these shots were going everywhere, including into the actual business itself. And in the process, that one officer was shot in the leg, but again taken to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, that investigation continues. It's still very, very early, but you know, Chief Johnny Jennings did say they're going to be interviewing witnesses, and as they have been, continuing to look around the area to piece together just exactly what led up to this shooting. Abby?
Sharon, I think the next question that comes to mind for many, including myself: any arrests in this case yet, and do police have a suspect?
Well, there haven't been any arrests at this time, but I did ask the chief. I said, you know, is the person who was causing that disturbance the same person you guys believe may have fired those shots outside of the Blind Pig? And he did say that it's still very early in the investigation and they can't determine that. He did say they're going to be talking very extensively with that person, which I'm assuming is they've identified at least the person who was originally the call for that disturbance, and they said they would be talking to them and, of course, asking them information along with interviewing witnesses as well. But right now, they're saying they haven't arrested any suspects, but they also haven't given us any indication that people in the area have any reason to worry. They just haven't identified that as of right now in the preliminary investigation. Abby?
All right, Sharon Hayes joining us live in the NoDa neighborhood with the very latest on this breaking news. Sharon, thank you for tracking that for us. Sharon's actually been out there bringing us live updates since 4:30 this morning. In the meantime, right now, she was able, as we heard, talk to Johnny Jennings, Chief Johnny Jennings. Want to play a little bit of that conversation for you.
At this time, we do want to speak with that individual, however, obviously to see what his account was and where that person might have been when our officer was shot. But at this point, it's too early to say that that is our suspect in the shooting.
So that's the very latest that we were able to get from Chief Johnny Jennings. We also checked in with our Sharon Hayes, who has the very latest information on the investigation from police. I now want to bring in our Liliana Pearson, who is covering a different aspect of this investigation. Liliana, you were able to talk with people who witnessed what happened during the overnight hours in this neighborhood.
Yeah, Abby, I talked to 4 different people this morning. None of them saw the shooting itself. However, they heard it. They were nearby. Some of them even inside the business that it happened just outside of. So I heard from a bartender and a regular patron of the Blind Pig. They told me they were both out back behind the business taking out the trash when the shooting itself actually happened. However, they were able to tell me that they spoke to people who were inside the business afterwards. And again, this is information information that we are working to confirm with police, but they were able to tell me that that patron who shot the officer first shot at a security guard. The security guard was not hit, but they said that it was very close. And then I also talked to two men who were closing down their business nearby. They say that they heard those shots ring out. They saw several police officers with their guns out running towards the Blind Pig, and then multiple police cars rushing towards the area. And Abby, I think that you actually are able to play some of that interview I was able to get with them around 4 a.m. this morning.
All of a sudden we hear pops around the corner, and then two police officers ran up. One was carrying a rifle, one had a handgun out, and they asked where it came from. I said around the corner, and I didn't know what happened, and then they went charging around, and then I heard two more pops, and then all of a sudden cop cars just flooded everywhere.
And Liliana, we just heard that sound
and
bite.
Obviously very scary stuff. Yeah.
I know that you were able to hear from a number of people out there. A very active scene this morning. Let's talk about those traffic impacts, because it is a very busy intersection. A lot of people frequenting that area. So what are the impacts currently?
Yeah, Abby, and I'm going to go beyond the fact that it's just traffic impact. This is commuter impact, because one of the things that's actually just a couple blocks down the street behind me here on 36th Street is the 36th Street stop for the light rail. And I've talked to a couple people this morning that ended up having to take off running down the street because now they have to go blocks out of their way to try to get to that light rail stop. But this is also impacting traffic as well. Obviously, as you can see behind me here, there's still quite an expansive scene out as well. And this is going to be impacting people that are getting in their cars. And so we do know right now that North Davidson Street is shut down from 34th Street to Mercury Street, and then 36th Street is closed down between North Tryon and North Alexander Street. The morning commute has calmed down a little bit, but let's see if we can pan over here. We can actually see we got one car right now. Lots of people driving around through the area trying to find out how exactly they are going to be getting around this scene. You can see them stopping here at the intersection, looking around, trying to figure out where they need to go to get around this. So again, cars definitely feeling the impact this morning, but also people trying to get down the sidewalk, whether they're just walking to work in the area or trying to get to that light rail stop, Abby.
All right, Liliana Pearson joining me at the WBTV News Now desk. I know that you have a lot more reporting to do, so I'm going to let you go. In the meantime, if you are just joining us right now, we are following breaking news that we first brought to you at 4:30 on WBTV this morning. Currently, we know that there is a Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officer who was shot in the leg in the NoDa neighborhood, initially responding to a disturbance call. This was at the Blind Pig. No arrests currently, but again, active investigation this morning. If you're watching on Facebook Live, the stream is about to end, but want to let you know that you can always head over to our website, WBTV.com, to get the very latest on this. Our digital team is constantly updating this story on our homepage with the very latest alerts as far as that officer's condition. He is expected to recover. Shot in the leg. This is in the overnight hours in NoDa. No arrests as of this morning, and so police are currently investigating. Again, latest information on WBTV.com, and then we will get another check of this breaking news on WBTV News at noon.